Hello guys. So in this video we will see the concept of object oriented programming in Python, right? So we'll see what are classes and objects and how do we implement them in Python. So to define with what are classes and objects, so let's start with objects, the lowest level, right? So if you ask or if you define objects, the simple definition of object is it's a real world entity. You can say entity or you can say a thing. So what is an object? It's a real world entity, and what makes an object, it is the properties or attributes that makes an object. So for example, I have a laptop. What does it make a laptop an object? It is the attributes, like say for example it has screen, it has keyboard, it has RAM, it has trackpads. So all these things are small features or properties or attributes which combines to make it an object, right? So let us look at this as an example here, okay, with a real case scenario. Okay, so consider that here I have a bulb. Okay, here. Okay, so this bulb is an object. Why do we say this bulb is an object? Because first thing, it is a real world entity, or it's a real world thing, right? So this is the first thing. Second thing, it has attributes. So what are the attributes it has? It has attributes like, you can say, type of bulb, what it is. Maybe it is LED or a CFL, something like that. You can say color, what color it emits. So this is one type, this is another type. What brand it is, and also you can say basically cost, your materials or something. So there are a lot of attributes which makes this a object, that is a bulb, right? So this is exactly what here we have defined object. So this is an example for an object, which is nothing but a real world entity, and it has some properties or attributes which makes this an object. Then what is a class? So coming to class, if we define class, it's very simple. So the class definition is basically, you might have seen this everywhere. They say class is blueprint of an object, and it has collection of objects. So this is the definition you might come across of a class. So let us try to understand what this is in real life scenario. So consider here I have this object, right? So I have this blueprint here. Okay, so this blueprint is nothing but it has the information how to create this bulb. So what are this information? That is nothing but the type, the color, the brand, and then the cost. All this information will be written in this blueprint. So this blueprint is having all this information about this bulb, how to make this bulb, and so on, right? So using this blueprint in an in a factory, you can manufacture n number of such bulbs using this blueprint. That is nothing but having information of how to create this bulb, size, width, type, color, and so on, right? Same way, if you come to programming term, so this blueprint is nothing but you create a class file here. So this class file has information about the object what you're creating. What are the information it stores? The information it stores are these attributes. We call them the attributes. So these attributes are stored in your class file. And how you say it is classes and collection of objects, same way, using this one blueprint, you can create infinite number of bulbs. Same way, using this one class, you can create infinite, or we say n number of objects. So using this one blueprint. So this is the actual meaning and implementation of classes and object. Now let us try to see how we create classes and objects in Python. Okay, so it's very simple. You have to start with the keyword called class. That is, you're saying that I'm creating a class. Now I will say the class name is bulb. So I'm creating a class called as bulb. Now this I will have init file, that is nothing but the initialization file. You can say basically this is as the constructor, where you have to write first self keyword. So self keyword, anything you specify with self keyword, it is class instance variable. That is the variable, or it is an property or attribute of an class. Okay, so I'll say this has type, I can say color, it has color, it has b type, that is bulb type, and it has brand. So it has brand, and it has cost. So these are the attributes what defines a bulb. So I have to initialize that. So I'll say self dot color is equals to color. That is, create an attribute of an bulb called color and assign this color to this self. So whatever I use with self, it means this is with respect to the class, and this color is local variable with respect to this. So then I'll say self dot b type is equals to b type, that is the bulb type. Then I'm going to say self dot I'll say brand, that is equal to the brand here. Then I'll say self dot cost is equals to the cost I'm specifying here, right? So I have now created these attributes. Okay, so now I will create another function called this display. So this will basically display all the data. So I will print the bulb is, and then I'll print color, and then I'll say color, and of type, then I will say the type of this by using self dot b type. Okay, I have to add here also self because this is an class instance, right? Okay, then I'll say of this type, and then with that I will say, so now I can say of this type and costs around, and then I'll say the cost. So I'll say self dot cost. So now if I execute this, so it creates a object, it creates a class blueprint called as bulb, which accepts these many attributes, and it has it has a method called display which will display the value. So let us see how do we create an object. So to create an object, simply I'll say bulb is equals to, and then followed by the class name, and I have to specify the, so I've misspelled it, let me write it bulb properly here. So I have to specify the values here. So what are the values? I have to send color. So color I can say white, and then I have to specify type I'll say it is LED, and then I have to specify brand. I'll say brand, it is from example Cisco, and I can say cost I can say it's 99. So now you see I have created an object, and the object name is bulb. Okay, so this object is nothing but I've created an object for class called bulb, in which I have passed all these arguments. So these are the properties which makes this a bulb. So now I can say bulb dot call me a method called as display. So when I call this, so whatever is the data with respect to this object, what data, the color being white, the brand being a Cisco, the type being LED, and cost, that value will be sent through this self, and from that I'm accessing this color, b type, and cost. So that is how you're able to say this. So this is example of how you can create a class, and how to create an or initiate an object in Python.